Have you ever stopped in the middle of a thought and asked yourself, who exactly is thinking this? What if the voice inside your head, the one you call you, is nothing more than an illusion, a clever trick played by your brain, or something far stranger? Today we're diving deep into one of the oldest, most mysterious questions in human history. Is your mind even real? Let's begin. First, let's pause. What does it even mean for something to be real? A rock is real because you can touch it. Fire is real because it burns you. But what about thoughts, emotions, or consciousness? You can't touch a thought. You can't bottle up love. You can't hold your mind in your hands. Does that make your mind less real, or more real? In philosophy, this has been debated for centuries. Plato believed that ideas, not the physical world, were the most real things in existence. Descartes famously said, "I think, therefore I am." He believed that even if everything else is an illusion, the very act of thinking proves the reality of a self. But, is that really true? Let's challenge that. Modern neuroscience tells a different story. According to many scientists, the mind is not a single thing. It's a collection of processes, patterns, and perceptions. There is no central you sitting in the brain pulling levers. There's just a bunch of neural activity firing like electrical storms. And that voice inside your head? It's not your soul. It's just your brain talking to itself. Imagine your mind like a movie, but instead of one screen, it's thousands of flashing images, stitched together so quickly that you believe it's a smooth, continuous story. This is called the illusion of continuity. It's the mind tricking itself into thinking it's one coherent, conscious being. But what if it's not? What if you never existed in the first place? Long before neuroscience, the Buddha said something shocking. There is no self. In Buddhist philosophy, the mind is not a soul or a permanent identity. It's a constantly changing stream of experiences. One thought arises, then another, and another. Like waves in the ocean, they appear, rise, and fade. The problem is, we mistake the waves for the ocean. We cling to our thoughts, our stories, our labels. I am smart. I am anxious. I am me. And in doing so, we build a prison of identity. But what if you let go of that? What if you watched your thoughts like clouds drifting through the sky? Without attachment, without judgment. Would you still be there? Here's where things get really weird. Even with all our technology, all our science, no one can explain how or why consciousness exists. This is known as the hard problem of consciousness. You can scan the brain. You can measure electrical signals. You can even map which neurons light up when you taste chocolate or feel pain. But no one can explain why those signals produce experience. Why does red feel like red? Why does music move you? Why does the thought of your childhood bring a tear to your eye? These aren't physical things. They are qualia, the subjective, internal textures of your experience. And science can't touch them. So, is your mind real? Or is it beyond reality as we currently define it? Let's take it further. What if the entire universe, your body, your thoughts, your memories, is just a simulation? According to some physicists and philosophers, it's not only possible, it's probable. If advanced civilizations can run realistic simulations of consciousness, and if they run many such simulations, then statistically, we are more likely to be the simulated minds, not the real ones. You might think you're thinking your thoughts, but maybe they were programmed into you. Maybe your memories are code. Maybe your emotions are scripts. Maybe your self is just a line of artificial logic, written by something or someone you will never meet. At this point, you might feel a bit disoriented, maybe even uncomfortable. And that's okay, because the purpose of philosophy isn't to give you answers, it's to deepen the questions. So let me ask you again. When you say, I, who exactly is speaking? Is it your brain, your soul, your memories, your culture, or something else entirely? What if the mind is not a thing you have, but a process you're experiencing? What if you are not the thinker of thoughts, but the awareness behind them? What if the mind is real, but not in the way you think? So, is your mind real? We've seen ancient wisdom say no. We've seen science struggle to explain it. We've seen philosophers argue that the self is an illusion. And yet, you're still here, thinking, questioning, feeling. Maybe that's the only reality that matters. Not whether the mind is real, but that the mystery of the mind remains. And in that mystery there's something beautiful, something vast, something worth exploring. So the next time a thought drifts across your awareness, pause, notice it, and ask yourself, who just noticed that thought? Maybe, just maybe, that's where the real mind begins. If you enjoyed this journey into the mind, subscribe for more philosophical explorations. And remember, stay curious, Stay questioning. Stay aware.